Imagine waking up one morning and your whole village, gone. Not by a natural disaster but by the hands of your own government. This is the untold story of the Bolshevik genocide, one of history's deadliest, yet most hidden tragedies. You're standing in Petrograd, 1917. Crowds chant for change, the Tsar is gone and power is up for grabs. The Bolsheviks, led by Vladimir Lenin, promise a workers' paradise. They claim they'll give land to peasants, bread to the hungry, and peace to soldiers. It sounds like salvation. But in reality, it's the start of a nightmare. The Bolsheviks seize control with a mix of propaganda and raw force. They abolish private property, they shut down newspapers that dare to disagree. And if you think they'll stop there, you're in for a brutal awakening. This isn't just political reform. It's the birth of a system that sees dissent as treason, and treats entire groups of people as enemies of the state. Under the new regime, the idea of class enemy becomes deadly. If you're a noble, a priest, a wealthy peasant, what they call a kulak, you're marked. It doesn't matter if you've committed a crime, your identity alone makes you guilty. The Cheka, the Bolshevik secret police, knock on doors in the middle of the night. People vanish. Sometimes you hear rumors of executions in forests. Sometimes there's no trace at all. The government insists this is justice for the revolution. But you can see the truth. It's mass persecution disguised as progress. In 1918, the Bolsheviks make it official. They call it the Red Terror. Anyone suspected of opposing the revolution can be arrested, tortured, or shot. No trial, no defense. The terror sweeps across Russia like wildfire. In cities, prisoners are lined up against walls and executed. In the countryside, villages are burned as warnings. Thousands are thrown into makeshift prisons, often starved or worked to death. The message is clear: obey without question or be erased. You might think such violence would be temporary, just a way to secure power. But for the Bolsheviks, this becomes standard policy, and it's only the beginning. By the early 1920s, the Bolsheviks face resistance from peasants who refuse to hand over their grain. Their answer? Take the grain by force. The state sends armed squads to seize food, leaving families with nothing. Millions are left to starve. The famine of 1921-1922 is devastating. Entire regions waste away. Desperate parents abandon children they can't feed. Reports of cannibalism spread. This isn't an accident of bad harvests. It's a deliberate policy: punish those who resist, feed those who obey. The famine kills around 5 million people, but the government controls the narrative, blaming the victims and hiding the scale of the disaster from the outside world. Fast forward to the late 1920s. Joseph Stalin takes the reins. He launches collectivization, forcing peasants to give up their land and join state-run farms. The kulaks, those so-called wealthy peasants, are targeted for elimination. If you're labeled a kulak, you're stripped of everything. Some are shot on the spot, others are crammed into cattle cars and shipped to remote labor camps in Siberia. Many die before they even arrive. The policy doesn't just kill individuals, it destroys the backbone of rural life. Ancient traditions vanish, communities are broken, and again, famine follows. The Holodomor in Ukraine, a man-made famine from 1932-1933, claims millions of lives. Soviet leaders deny it even exists. By now, you live in a society where speaking the truth can cost you your life. Neighbors spy on each other. Children are taught to report their parents if they say something counter-revolutionary. History itself is rewritten. The victims of famine, mass shootings, and forced labor camps are erased from official records. If your loved one disappears, you're told never to ask questions. The genocide isn't just about killing bodies, it's about erasing identities. Cultures, languages, and religious traditions are targeted. The aim is to create a single obedient Soviet citizen with no memory of the past. When the Soviet Union finally collapses in 1991, the truth starts to leak out. Archives open. Survivors tell their stories. Historians estimate that the combined policies of the Bolsheviks and their successors killed tens of millions. But here's the thing. You probably never learned this in school. The events are often downplayed, argued over, or ignored completely. And yet the fingerprints of the Bolshevik genocide are still visible. In mass graves, in broken family trees, and in the cultures that were nearly wiped from the map. Remembering matters. Not to dwell on the horror, but to recognize how easily promises of equality can be twisted into systems of mass destruction. The past doesn't repeat exactly, but it often rhymes. And the first step to stopping it is knowing it happened. If this shocked you, share it, talk about it, keep the memory alive. And if you want more hidden history revealed, make sure you're subscribed, because the stories they don't want you to know are the ones you most need to hear.